You are watching Lunch Primetime News on TV1. I'm Chaturang Haparatchi. Today has been an interesting day. Several interesting things have happened in the morning. Before we take a look at the stories in detail, let's first take a look at our headlines.
Sri Lanka Freedom Party to organize a separate May Day rally. When will the rice mafia come to an end? CEB employees attached to the Kandy branch engage in a strike over an assault. Arrangements to fill 130 acres of paddy land in the Kurunegala district.
First, let me draw your attention to the parliamentary sessions today. The opposition leader raised questions in Parliament today regarding the microfinance situation and raised questions about the struggles that the people who have obtained microfinance facilities have to face.
There are many institutions that offer microfinance facilities within the country. Many people who have obtained microfinancial facilities have alleged that since these institutions are not regulated adequately, the owners of these institutions are acting as they wish. Although the government has placed a maximum interest rate of 35% for microfinance facilities, some owners of these institutions are charging a 100% or even at times 220% interest on microfinance facilities. Many people in urban areas and villages who have obtained these loans from these institutions are currently facing difficulties in paying these interest rates. Some people have even committed suicide. How many institutions exist in the country that provide microfinance facilities? How many institutions are registered under the central bank? What is the legal ability of institutions that are not registered to provide microfinance facilities? Is the central bank carrying out supervision on all these institutions? What are the policy-based decisions taken by the government to solve the microfinance crisis in the country? Many parliamentarians were discussing the port city in the media yesterday. However, the government has not provided any solution for this microfinance crisis in the country. In the same manner, other issues such as the human-elephant conflict that the people are suffering from are not being solved by the government.
I have to say all these problems became worse during your rule. However, I will provide solutions for these issues within the next few days.
More updates from the Parliament coming your way throughout the day today, and we remind you to stay tuned to News First to know the latest in terms of the political situation. Drawing your attention to the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, former President and Chairman of the SLFP, Maithripala Sirisena, has confirmed that the Sri Lanka Freedom Party will mark the May Day separately. The former President made these remarks following a meeting at the SLFP headquarters.
It was decided by the Central Working Committee and the Parliamentary Group of the SLFP to hold a party May Day rally. Accordingly, the SLFP will hold the May Day rally in Colombo. It was the Sri Lanka Freedom Party that ensured the rights of the working class, farmers and labourers. All the party MPs, district organisers, representatives of the provincial institutes, divisional secretaries and all of them are an integral part of the party. We must go forward with them. We have begun our journey on a strong path. We believe that it will get stronger after May Day. The SLFP celebrated May Day every year. Similar to those years, we will celebrate May Day and pay our respects to the working class.
From the political arena, we draw your attention to an incident that transpired in Kandy yesterday. Today, the Ceylon Electricity Board Technical Engineers and Superintendents Union have resorted to a trade union action following an assault in Kandy yesterday.
Residents claimed that an electric pole had collapsed onto a house in Pushpadana Mawatha in Kandy due to the improper construction. A tense situation arose between the area residents and the CEB employee who was repairing the electricity pole. Employees of the Kandy City branch of the Ceylon Electricity Board have commenced a trade union action this morning in connection with the attack.
We lodged a complaint to the police yesterday. However, we did not see an arrest or any legal action taken in this regard. If the law is not enacted properly in the future, there will be problems with regard to electricity supply in the central province.
Our correspondent said that there is still a power outage in the area where the incident took place yesterday. As a result, there have been electricity cuts in Pushpadana Mawatha in Kandy, part of Bairavakanda in Katukale and a section in Mapanavathura.
There shouldn't be any conflicts because of this. We strictly condemn it. It is not fair to not provide with electricity because of this issue. So we kindly request you to supply electricity without any hindrances.
One mission, one channel, and one more thing. 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
News First, the voice of the people.
This is the voice of the people. The people of Pingheng Watta in Rambukkana continue to lament for 3 months, claiming that they have not received water.
This village is located in a mountainous area. Due to its geographical position, the village gets its water under low pressure. The Mavanala Water Board supplies water to the area. Due to the high demand for water in the area, it has been 3 months since the village has been supplied with water. Close to 75 families have been affected due to this issue. Villagers point out that a solution to this problem has not been provided despite informing the relevant authorities.
With you, solving your problems. Always by your side, acknowledging issues forgotten, tears unseen. Working for you and our country. Gammadda, by the people, for the people.
The petitions that were filed against the Port City Commission bill is being taken up at the Supreme Court premises for a second day today. Several politicians arrived at the location today. Several petitioners also arrived at the location today. These were the views expressed by Palitha Range Bandara when he was leaving the Supreme Court premises. Charlene Benedict is at the location to give us a comprehensive update.
The government is obliged to give the port city to China under agreements because they have borrowed money with interest. This is a serious threat to the security of the country. Moreover, this has no use for the economy. All the income will go to China.
Today is the second day of the consideration of the petitions filed challenging the constitutionality of the Port City Economic Commission bill. Now, making submissions in court today was President's Counsel Vijayadasa Rajapaksa, who submitted to court that the Port City Economic Commission bill is against the fundamental principles of the Constitution. He said that this is one of the pieces of legislation that is in total violation of the Constitution, and as such it should be rejected in total. He also submitted that as this bill has not been submitted to the provincial councils as per the requirement in the Constitution, this bill cannot be even placed on the order paper of Parliament. Now, also today making submissions on behalf of the petitioner, Dr. Ajanta Pereira, attorney at law Krishmal Varnasuriya pointed out that the Port City Economic Commission bill attempts to create a different class of citizens and also introduces a requirement to use a different currency other than the currency used in Sri Lanka on a different territory other than Sri Lanka, and with laws or different laws affecting these different class of citizens. Attorney at Law Krishmal Varnasuri also pointed out to certain clauses in the Port City Economic Commission bill that attempts to remove the discretion conferred upon regulatory authorities when granting permission to matters referred to it by the proposed Port City Economic Commission. He also pointed out, as such, it is contravening Article 12 of the Constitution, which confers equality among all citizens of the country, and as such, the bill requires to be passed with a special two-thirds majority in Parliament as well as at a referendum of the people. Now, the other petitions that have been filed challenging the constitutionality of the Port City Economic Commission bill will also be taken up at the Supreme Court by the rest of the day and also during the coming days. There are a number of intervenient petitions that have been filed by including Professor G.L. Pieris and a number of other intervenient petitioners with regard to the same matter, and finally the Attorney General will make his submissions with regard to the Port City Economic Commission bill. So stay tuned to News First as we continue to bring you the latest from the proceedings here at the Supreme Court. Signing off for the News First team, I'm Charlene Benedict.
Thank you, Charlene. As Charlene mentioned, we will be keeping a close eye on the proceedings at the Supreme Court with regard to the petitions that have been filed against the Port City Commission bill, and you can log on to our social media sites to be updated with regard to the happenings in the Supreme Court, keeping you updated about more local news. The distribution of educational equipment, including books to school children, was carried out at the Mathugama Auditorium under the Siyak Sipal program.
The event was organized by the Pasdun Korale Lions Club, while 306 A2 District President Ajit Lianage, members of Lions Club, principals and senior journalists and founder of the Sri Praja Development Foundation, Deshabandhu Sripal Vanyarachi, graced the occasion. More than 1,000 children from 12 schools in the Mathugama division benefited from this initiative.
Keeping you updated about the COVID-19 situation in the country, the epidemiology unit of the Ministry of Health said that the second phase of COVID-19 vaccination program will commence on the 1st of May. Senior epidemiologist at the epidemiology unit, Dr. Sudat Samaravira, said that the vaccine will be first administered among the health sector. The decision was made after a meeting held by the Consultative Committee on Infectious Diseases of the Ministry of Health under the chairmanship of the Director General of Health Services yesterday. Dr. Sudat Samaravira said that at present the Ministry of Health possesses around 350,000 jabs of AstraZeneca Covishield vaccine. On a similar note, keeping you updated about the COVID-19 situation in our neighboring India, India has been added to a red list of countries from which most travel to the UK is banned over fears of a new COVID variant.
UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson tweeted, quote, "Plans for a European Super League would be very damaging for football, and we support football authorities in taking action. They will strike at the heart of the domestic game and will concern fans across the country." End quote. Meanwhile, UEFA is threatening legal action against those 12 teams and could, in theory, ban them from future competitions. UEFA announced that semi-finalists involved in the Super League, which are Real Madrid, Chelsea and Manchester City, will be expelled from this season's competition along with the remaining breakaway participants by Friday. UEFA said, and I quote, "The clubs concerned will be banned from playing in any other competition at domestic, European or world level, and their players could be denied the opportunity to represent their national team." End quote. FIFA denounced the formation of the Super League, saying it goes against FIFA's core principles of solidarity, inclusivity, integrity and equitable financial redistribution. Players have also begun to express their opinion about the European Super League, with Mesut Ozil and Ander Herrera leading the charge. German midfielder Mesut Ozil, who played for Arsenal, one of the founding members of the new tournament, took to Twitter and wrote, quote, "Kids grow up dreaming to win the World Cup and the Champions League, not any Super League." The enjoyment of big games is that they only happen once or twice a year, not every week, end quote. PSG midfielder Ander Herrera, who played for Manchester United in the past, also had a powerful message for those who have planned the breakaway league. The likes of Dejan Lovren, Bruno Fernandes and Lucas Podolski also issued statements opposing the plans.
One mission, one channel, and one more thing, 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
As I promised you earlier, we have another update from Parliament. The opposition alleged the government had failed to control the price of rice in the local market, adding businesses are positioned to even challenge the government due to this situation.
No matter who says what, the present government and even the previous government failed to control the price of rice. A challenge was posed to the government during a show on a popular media channel where a person who controls the rice mafia in the country said the Minister of Agriculture can't even keep up with them. We want to know what your plan is to face threats such as this. Honourable Speaker, the easiest mechanism to control the price of rice is to import rice for a lower amount from abroad like the previous government and distribute them across the market. Then you can control any mafia. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa won't let us resort to this policy, meaning he won't let us bring rice from abroad. If that is allowed, the price can be controlled very easily. The prices of Nadu, Samba and Kakulu were controlled below 100 rupees during this festive season. We couldn't control only Kiri Samba and the others. In the future, we expect to maintain a secured lot of rice by the government and issue it through Satosa and cooperatives in the future. Give us a short period of time. By the next reaping season, this issue will be solved. We respect the decision by the President to not bring rice from abroad. This benefits the farmers of areas such as Hambantota and Polonnaruwa. But the issue is, Honourable Minister, people are threatening the government. What is the message you give the people when you allow people like this to make atrocious statements like this? We are not afraid of threats. The Minister of Agriculture has not commenced competitive buying. The ministry under Mahindananda Alutgamage is now completely supplying rice to Satosa and the cooperatives. We have controlled their price. In the future, we will tell you what we will do about the prices of Kiri Samba and the other rice. We are not a government that kneels down in front of any private entity.
An attempt to reclaim 130 acres of paddy land in Kurunegala town has met with strong public opposition. The landowners and the Mahasangha of the Agrarian Federation held a press briefing against the filling up of 130 acres of paddy land.
The
Urban Development Authority has already sought permission from the Department of Agrarian Development in order to fill 130 acres of paddy fields in the Kurunegala city limits. This land filling poses a threat of flooding to the Kurunegala town. If this happens, the people in the city will have to face many difficulties in the future. We have a number of suspicions on acquiring these paddy lands. Land filling will only cause environmental destruction, then it will no longer be a paddy deed. Documents pertaining to the ownership of this paddy fields will also no longer be valid. It will be converted to a field land. Once this conversion is done, a perch will be sold for millions. Then from there they implement their project. Artifacts and treasures can also be found in these lands. Even in that aspect, this is a problematic situation. Therefore, this cannot happen without an environmental assessment report.
Before we go, a fundamental rights petition was filed by Venerable Tiniyavala Palithatera against State Minister of Capital Market Ajit Niwad Cabral for misusing more than 23 billion rupees of public funds. You can follow the details of this story on our social media platforms and on our award-winning website www.newsfirst.lk. That's all the news we have for you this afternoon. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Chaturanga Parachi. Take care and have a good day.